You've been walking around the entrance zone, playing your quirky little game. Suddenly, you stumble into one of the office rooms where you spot some lockers in the corner. Hungry for loot, you dash on over and quickly snatch up everything you need. Satisfied with your plundering, you quickly turn back around to continue your hunt for the escaped SCPs. But as you turn, you spot something out of the corner of your eye. A whiteboard? Pictures splattered throughout, big underlined text written October 1989, 2006, next to a newspaper article, a torn postcard. What could this all mean? What sort of mission did the person hope to accomplish writing it here? In this video, we'll dive into it and how it connects to the overall SCP Secret Laboratory lore. But before we dive into the whiteboard, I think there is some important background knowledge that we need. On July 29, 2022, a video premiered on the Northwood YouTube channel titled Mimicry SCP-939 Reveal Trailer. This video showcased a Silent Night scenario that occurred at Site-19. The Foundation have seemingly lost all contact with Site-19 and have now launched an investigation. We see MTF scouring the grounds with some tape guarding off a building. We're then brought to an office as we scroll along a whiteboard, cut to a microscope with a sample labeled S1913. Zoom into this unknown substance as we see veins growing out and expanding as a frequency over a radio drowns out our ears. Hard cut to an injured MTF fleeing something as an armed group comes across a dead squad mate. As that squad pans their flashlights over to the corpse, a being pops into frame, SCP-939, and instantly takes down one of them. Still fleeing, injured MTF arrives at another group as a flare is launched into the sky. SCP-939 returns to view as it launches itself in front of the remaining MTF. It slowly rises onto its legs as the video ends with it letting out a quiet scream. From this video, we see that a catastrophe occurs at Site-19, and while the Foundation was trying to clean it up, we see an SCP-939 that proceeded to attack and kill most, some, it's unknown how many of them survived. But more importantly, let's go back to that whiteboard that we saw glimpses of in the beginning. Titled S19 Excavation HQ, we can assume this is the higher-ups meeting room regarding the Site-19 incident. They know that Site-19 comms were ended about 2 days ago at the time of this operation. We can see that currently they are unsure of what caused this to occur, but they are sending out MTF Zeta-9, the mole rats, to determine the cause at 8 a.m. tomorrow. With an event like this occurring, it's obvious that SCPs are going to be around. SCPs 173 and 96 were successfully contained, but as we can tell from the video, SCP-939 is still lurking in the woods. The most telling part is the section right underneath that says several casualties expected. They were ready for a battle here. Additionally, we have a photo of an individual spotted on the day of the event and a sample of S1913 that was removed from the soil. Underlined is further laboratory investigation pending. Who could this woman be? What does the soil sample have to do with anything? Why were there veins growing under the microscope? If only there was a spot that could give us some answers. Wait, there might be something in... The Mimicry update introduced a brand new area into heavy containment, a new SCP-939 holding chamber. The downfall of Site-19, there was a big transfer of new SCPs into Site-02. SCP-096, 173, and 939 were moved into here and needed their own containment areas. SCP-939's area had its containment tube along with the next door laboratory section to study it and its strange substance. Filled to the brim with fridges for keeping everything at a safe temp, scales, beakers, and microscopes, this has it all for attempting to figure out what could be in this mysterious soil sample. Moving to a whiteboard for people to collaborate their thoughts and jot down messages for the day, you can see various pieces of text. At the top, we see that this SCP-939 is a bit unique. Next to it, we see a glimpse of a chemical compound with bromine, a single and double bounded nitrogen, and a single bonded fluorine. Underneath, we see a final whiteboard message saying that scientists can't leave samples thawing and unsupervised from a Lieutenant Hughes. He may be a researcher or a higher up at Site-19, but that's currently unknown. The final piece on this whiteboard is a research report on amnestic properties of SCP-939-168. We can see that there are traces of Compound A, carbon monoxide, Compound B, benzodiazepines, Compound C, AMNC-227939, and Compound D, S1913. Further down in the report, we can read that the gas causes victims to forget that 939 exists, causes severe cognitive inhibition, disorientation, and temporary loss of muscle memory. They have been unable to isolate the gas, and it seems to disperse in the air. Further study of the gas needs to be taken, signed by a Walt. From this report, we can tell that the compounds A and B cause victims to be disoriented and lose control of their muscles. Compound C, the AMNC-227939, can cause its victims to be lured to 939 in a a large radius. It has been used by the Foundation before in the 90s to track a hidden nest of 939 after a group of hikers unknowingly found one. It is also stated that the color red makes them uneasy, making it likely that they may confuse red with 939, or this is the cause of making the victim unable to see 939. This leaves Compound D with its still unknown effects as it doesn't correlate to any of the symptoms. Maybe it causes the gas to stay affixed in a certain spot, or it does something the researchers have yet to find. In the Mimicry update, we also got an updated 939 model and updated abilities. SCP-939's newest model is now bipedal. We can see bones going down its legs and arms. We see what looks like ribcage bones on its front and splines along the back of its neck. Finally, and most disturbingly, we can see a human nose, the bottom of an eye socket, and chin at the front of its snout. With the ability update, it turned 939 into an ambush-style class with a lunge ability and a cloud that it can disperse. 939 also has a list of sounds it can play from, as well as stealing voices from its victims. With an unknown compound being researched by Site-02, one of the largest sites in the Foundation, being eradicated, an unknown woman spotted at the source, and a violent 939 attack on the MTF, it's time to return to the beginning. Finally dissect our whiteboard. October 1989 in large text is written in the top of our whiteboard. Alpha 01, dispatched to terminate the newly discovered Colorado nest. Move over to the photo in the top left is of an unfocused SCP found near Site 19. Below we have a transcript and a supposed investigation going on. In it we see Mallory talking with a redacted person. Mallory found a woman wandering around with a flashlight and a radio. Redacted asks if they were armed and Mallory responds that she was not. They would have shot if she was. Redacted questions why they had a radio on them. Mallory says that the woman claims that it was for an emergency, but gets cut off with Redacted telling them to destroy it. Mallory complies as the transcript ends. Connecting the transcript is the interrogation log conducted by Dr. M. Olson with subject Charlie. Olson asks Charlie some questions about his sister that has gone missing. Charlie talks about how she was found near Sawtooth, a mountain range in Colorado. She was abandoned and nobody in the town claimed her. Charlie begins to go into more backstory but is cut off by Olson. He asks how they managed to stumble on a secure site. Charlie pauses for a long time before responding that his sister killed some people and he's been looking for 20 years since. He searched forest and all over and knows that she's scared. He wants to understand what's going on with her. The log ends with Olson thanking Charlie for the interview, and Charlie responds that he feels tired after the events of the evening. Pictured in the bottom left is a news article about missing and murdered people in Colorado in 2006. We can see that this most recent death was of a young man with deep puncture wounds to the skull. There were 6 previous murders starting in July, all found with similar wounds in the nearby woods. The only missing person not found is Harper, who went missing on July 12th. Underneath is text stating to investigate Harper, with a potential link to the Colorado nest. Finally, we have a postcard reading, "We know what happened to your sister. The Foundation is responsible. We can help you. We can reunite you with her. You know where to find us." So altogether, we have a nest of something near Colorado in 1989, a picture of an SCP near Site 19, a transcript and interrogation log to Charlie about his sister near facility, a newspaper log about 6 people being murdered and found except for a Harper, who's potentially linked to the nest, and finally a postcard to Charlie about his missing sister. We have so many moving parts here, and Charlie and his sister seem to be at the center of it all. But why? What does the Foundation want with them? Who's the murderer? Who's the unknown group that wants to help Charlie? Are we ever going to find his sister? Oh wait, we already have. She's right here. Charlie's sister, better known as Harper, is SCP-939. Remember earlier when I was talking about the new model of 939 and mentioned the human features? That's because 939 starts out as a human. According to reproduction of SCP-939, 939 is able to birth human children. When they are born, they are indistinguishable from healthy human infants. See, about 4 years after their birth, they start acting strange. They begin developing headache, fevers, aversion to light, and a hypersensitivity to auditory stimuli. Shortly after symptoms show, their head detaches itself and they will now resemble a smaller 939. They also begin to forego their normal sense of taste and start craving human flesh. Putting all the pieces together, the story begins around October 1989 when Charlie and his mother found Harper in the mountains of Sawtooth, Colorado. This could be a result of the Alpha 1 squad being unable to find all remnants of the 939 nest. Some time passes when they find Harper and transforms into SCP-939 and flees home. She needs to feed, so she begins to kill people in the woods to survive. Charlie searches for 20 years for her in the surrounding woods. He only sees her a couple of times, and they are both confused and want to understand what's happening to her. Their final reuniting is during the Site 19 disaster. We can assume that she attacks the MTF there at the facility, and Charlie is then apprehended. Foundation assumes they were colluding together and he gets questioned by Dr. Olson. Sometime after this interrogation, a postal card is found from a mysterious group wanting to help Charlie. This is the Chaos Insurgency, as we know that they have a deep hatred for the Foundation and want to help the SCP. So altogether, everything that we have listed here, from the Mimicry update, from this whiteboard, it all links back to a story about a pair of siblings caught in the middle of the Foundation's mess. One, a once human turned SCP being used for experiments by the Foundation, and the other desperately searching for answers. Taking this conclusion forward, we could see Charlie being a recurring character for either the Chaos, as a working man for them, as he knows what the Foundation is capable, or as a simple man caught in the middle, somebody who got too close to the sun without knowing what's going on, and wanting to do his best for his sister. If my assumption here is correct on what's going on, I hope that this gets continued. It's a pretty cute story of two characters being directly intertwined with the ongoing war between the Chaos and the Foundation, and this could link up to what's going on with the current lore of the Chaos starting their raids on various Foundation sites, with a corrupted man at the top being the cause of everything bad going on in the Foundation currently. Or I could be completely wrong and none of this is correct. But what do you think about what Northwood cooked up here? Is there a different conclusion that you came to with the Mimicry update or about this lore information? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I hope to do more SCP Secret Lab or even SCP in general lore videos. If there's something you want me to cover, let me know. I also stream most days on Twitch, so follow me over there to chat about all things SCP. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and have a good one. I'm out.